Torah guardian, speaking the absolute truth. Torah nation.
Shalom, shalom, Yasharah, Yahuda, grafted in Gentiles into the body of Mashiach. We bring you greetings in the name of our Yahuwah and his son Yahusha Mashiach, of which we are witnesses of the Yahusha and Yahuwah, and we bear the seal of his Ruach Ha'Qodesh, which, if as many as received it, the seal, the Ruach Ha'Qodesh, these are now have become the sons of Elohim. Yahuwah, I give you praise right now in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach. I give you praise, I give you praise, I give you praise. I give you praise for my kinsman redeemer. I give you praise. Yeah, I give you praise for my kinsman redeemer. I give you praise. Yahuwah, I give you praise for being a righteous root from the branch, a righteous branch from the root of Yahusha HaMashiach. I give you praise, Yahuwah, for raising me up in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach to be a witness. Yahuwah, raising me up in this 7th week, declare your Besorah of truth and Ruach and in truth. Yahuwah, I give you praise, I give you praise, I give you praise. I give you praise, I give you praise. Yahuwah, I pray right now in the name of Yahusha Mashiach, that by this witness, this Ruach Ha'Qodesh in me, that you would not cause anyone to be turned out of the way. Allow me not to cause anyone to be turned out of the way to come up laying, Yahuwah. Yahuwah, I pray in the name of Yahusha Mashiach, by the Ruach Ha'Qodesh that you put in me, that you would allow your word to speak and bring life to those who have an ear to hear. Yahweh, I realize everyone is not going to receive this Besorah, this Torah, this word, but to those who receive it, Yahuwah, for those who receive the entire witness of Yahusha HaMashiach, you have given them power to be the sons of Eloah, even them that believe on your name. Yahuwah, I give you praise. Yahuwah, I submit myself to you as a vessel to be used of you. Use me, Yahuwah. In the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, I'm nothing without you. But I give you praise that I am in the kingdom of Yahuwah by faith and having received the witness, having been quickened by the Ruach HaQodesh, having received the Ruach HaQodesh of truth, the earnest, the seal of my inheritance. I give you praise. Yahuwah, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. Yahuwah, my strength and my redeemer. Listen. We're listening to Hezekiah. We're listening to Hezekiah. The song is entitled Jerusalem. And you know that this is one of my favorite songs. And you know that I probably listened to it at least 2 or 3 times already today. Listen, because I'm looking to be established in the kingdom. I'm looking to be gathered from these lands, right? Having received the witness of Yahusha HaMashiach and have successfully declared this witness to those who Yahuwah has given me, those who have an ear to hear. Yeah. I'm going home. Listen. I plan on going home, right? Because I'm seeing the witness. And there's nothing that's going to take me out of his hands. No, because I don't sin. I don't practice sin. Listen, I've been redeemed. I keep his statutes, his laws. Listen. Jerusalem, Hezekiah. I don't want to write this music. We going in. Listen. I love Yahuwah, right? And I love the fact that he has chosen me. He has chosen me, right? Enoch, the 93rd chapter, the 12th verse, right? Afterwards, in the 7th week, a perverse generation shall rise. I'm grateful that he has chosen me from amongst the perverse generation. Listen, I'm glad that he has chosen me from amongst the perverse generation, right? Abundant shall be its deeds. Abundant shall be its deeds. Abundant shall be its deeds. Listen, the wickedness, right, of the left and the wickedness of the rights, in their deeds, it's abundant. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Listen, all the deeds are perverse. All the deeds are perverse. All the deeds are perverse. Right? Adultery, fornication, covetousness. It's all rampant. Right? Now listen, we can't get they can't get enough of their idolatry. Right? From football to basketball, right? They can't get enough of it. That's why Yahusha and Yahuda, listen, you better get a clue. Better wake up and get a clue. You better receive the witness of Yahusha and Mashiach and stop playing games. You better receive the witness in the Ruach Ha'Qodesh and stop playing games and stop saying you got it and you ain't showing no fruit. You got it, but you ain't showing no fruit. Yeah, you mocking. Listen. And all his deeds, and during the completion, the righteous shall be selected. I thank you. You have selected me from amongst the perverse. Yeah. I thank you that I have been selected from amongst the perverse, right? I am a righteous seed of Yahuwah, right? I'm a righteous seed of Yahuwah, right? Right? He has selected from the everlasting plan of righteousness. I am selected from the nation of Yasharah, from the 12 tribes, the plan of righteousness. I am Yahudah, right? I am Yaakov Yahuda Gaal from the tribe of Yasharah. He has selected me, right? Right? Because he has given me his Ruach Ha'Qodesh, right? According as he has chosen me in him. Listen, Ephesians 1. Ephesians 1 and 4. According as he has chosen us in him before the foundations of the world, that we should be Kodesh. That's the mystery of the kingdom. Established in the earth of a righteous seed, a Kodesh people, who has received his Ruach HaQodesh, who goes about doing the work of Yahuwah and Yahusha. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the mystery. That's what's been hid. And the only way you'll understand this is by having received his Ruach HaQodesh, because that's going to lead you and guide you into all truth. Right? Right? According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundations of the world, that we should be Kodesh and without blame before him in love, right? By receiving his Ruach HaQodesh. Listen, during the completion, the righteous shall be selected from the everlasting plan of righteousness. I have been selected from the everlasting plan of righteousness. Right? I have been selected from the everlasting plant. Listen. Yahusha says, I am the vine. I am the true vine. And my Father is the husbandman. He is the plant, right? And every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. He taketh away. He taketh away. Every Yahudiym, right, who has not received the witness of the Ruach HaQodesh, right, that are of the righteous plant, right, shall be taken away. And every branch that beareth fruit, right, who preaches this witness of Yahusha Mashiach, and from it produce fruit, right? And from that fruit produce fruit, right? They shall be purged, and that they may bring forth more fruit. Listen, I'm in the fruit business. Yeah, I'm in the fruit business. Yeah. I'm planting seeds, producing fruit. Yeah. It's with this witness and the Ruach Ha'Qodesh, right? Right? He says, you are cleansed through the words which I have spoken. He says, abide in me and I in you, for a branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine. Right? Enoch said, during its completion of the seventh week, the righteous shall be selected from an everlasting plan of righteousness, and to them shall be given the sevenfold doctrine of creation. Right? We are selected from Yahusha HaMashiach. Hallelujah. Listen. Enoch 93 in the second half of the 12th verse. It says, and again, this is in the CEPHER. You know, you listen, you should have one of these. It's the CEPHER. You should have one of these, the CEPHER, right? You all should have one, right? He says, during the completion of this week the righteous shall be selected from the everlasting plant of righteousness. And to them shall be selected from the everlasting plant of righteousness. The everlasting plant of righteousness, right? What we receive in Yahusha HaMashiach, isn't it everlasting life? We receive this Yeshua through the witness, having received the Ruach Ha'Qodesh, which is everlasting. Okay. Listen, I can go on. Listen, you better get a clue. You better receive the Ruach Ha'Qodesh. You better receive the witness of Yahusha Mashiach. You better receive the witness of Yahusha Mashiach. You better receive the witness of Yahusha Mashiach. We left off in Acts the 19th chapter. Paul was at Ephesus, right? Paul was at Ephesus, right? And he came to Ephesus and he ran into some disciples, right? And these disciples were disciples who were baptized under Yahuchanon's baptism, right? And evidently Paul must have heard them speak or something. He had to hear them. And they were all together, right? They were worshiping. They were doing whatever it is that they were doing. And Paul seen them and maybe he heard them say that they were disciples, right? You know. At any rate, Paul went up to him and he said in the second verse, he said unto them, have you received the Ruach Ha'Qodesh since you believed? Right? This is what the witness looks like. Right? This is the witness. Right? Now, it's going to unfold before you. Right? The witness. And how it must look. Right? Getting it. Let's get this now. This is the witness, how it unfolds, right? You have some men that receive the word, right? That have been baptized, right? Under John's baptism, right? Right? But it wasn't complete. Now, they possibly went forth and preached the baptism of repentance, right? Right? Because it acknowledges that they were under Yahuchanon's baptism. Paul said unto them, right? He said unto them, have you received the Ruach Ha'Qodesh since you believe? Right? Because I don't think you have received it yet. Right? They said unto him, we have not so much as heard of there being any Ruach Ha'Qodesh. Right? See, because some of y'all in the awakening have been taught that's the churchy stuff. That's that Jesus. Right? Right? You have been led to believe that, right? That's churchy. That's that stuff that we don't do. Right? Right. And mind you, you know, what you have seen in the Christian church, yeah, that ain't this. That's not what Paul's talking about. No, that's not the witness of Yahushua Mashiach, right? Right? So Paul says, have you received the Ruach Ha'Qodesh since you believe? Why? Because you got to have the Ruach Ha'Qodesh in order to be a witness. You have to be a Ruach Ha'Qodesh in order to be sealed in the kingdom of Yahuwah. Have you received the Ruach Ha'Qodesh since you believed? Right? Have you received the Ruach Ha'Qodesh since you believe? Yes. They said, no, we haven't even heard of the Ruach Ha'Qodesh. Right? And he said unto them, unto whom then were you baptized? Who baptized you? He said, we were baptized under Yahuchanon, the Baptist. So they were baptized. They received the baptism, the water. Right? They received the water. Right? Right? Because you know the three agree. Right? Now, let's establish this again. Right? Let's establish this again. Right? He says, for there are three that bear record in the heavens. Right? The Abba, the Word, and the Ruach Ha'Qodesh. These three are one. Right? So the Father, the Son, the Word made flesh, witnesses to, right? And the Ruach Ha'Qodesh witness to, and verse 8, and there are three that bear witness in the eretz, the Ruach Ha'Qodesh, the water, and the blood. And these three agree and are one. So, when Paul says, listen, then what have you been baptized under? Because they had not received the complete witness. So we were baptized under Yahuchanon, the immersive. Paul says, yeah, okay, John did. Paul said, John truly did baptize with the baptism of repentance, saying unto the people that they should believe on him which should come after him, that is on Yahushua Mashiach. Right? So they were baptized, right? In lieu of waiting for the witness of Yahushua Mashiach. Right? They didn't get it. Right? They were baptized under Yahuchanon. All 12 of them. Right? 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 He says, when they heard this, when they heard this, right, they were baptized in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. Right? So, Paul evidently had to share with them the witness of Yahushua Mashiach. Now, it doesn't go into any detail on how he elaborated on it, but once he elaborated on it and they recognized that they needed to be baptized in the name of Yahushua Mashiach for the forgiveness of their sins, right? Right? When they heard this, they were baptized in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, right? And when Paul had laid his hands upon them, the Ruach Ha'Qodesh came on them, and they spake with tongues and prophesied. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is the process. This is the process, same process. Process has never changed, right? Believe on Yahusha, be baptized, and receive your Ruach Ha'Qodesh with the laying on of hands, right? Or in some cases, not even necessary. Because the people are so in preparation to receive the word of Yahuwah, that upon receiving the word of the Ruach, or the word of Yahuwah, the Ruach Ha'Qodesh falls. Like it did on Cornelius' house. Yeah. Ruach Ha'Qodesh. But you got to understand the process. This is how the witness functions. You can't have the baptism without the witness of Yahushua Mashiach. Now, the baptism of John was you got to repent because he's coming. The baptism of Yahusha is he's here, and this is what he's done. Right? So you go in, you receive the witness of Yahushua Mashiach, the word of Yahusha's blood being shed, right, for the remission of your sins, right? And then you receive the Ruach Ha'Qodesh because all three are one. The witness. The witness. This is what it looks like. Right? And they all received the Ruach Ha'Qodesh and began to speak in other tongues and prophesy. Right? They began to speak with other tongues and prophesy. Now listen, right? You know, you've been told that, everybody ain't going to speak in tongues. Right? Well, I don't know. Because this is what happens when the witness comes. Right? Lay hands on somebody. They received the witness of the Ruach Ha'Qodesh and they speak in other tongues. Right? And they prophesied. It didn't say that there was nobody there that was around Paul and all the people he was prophesying to. That's them three. And they came up out of water and received the witness. And began to prophesy. And speak with other tongues. As a result of having received the witness in its entirety, which culminated in receiving the Ruach Ha'Qodesh. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. When a man of Yahuwah Eluah is declaring the Besorah of truth, the witness of Yahushua Mashiach, and men receive it with gladness and are baptized, and he lays his hands on them that they would receive the Ruach HaQodesh. This is what it looks like. 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 And all the men were about 12. So there was 12 men that received the Ruach HaQodesh and the witness of Yahushua Mashiach. Right? Now, he says, and he went into the synagogue and spoke boldly for the space of 3 months, disputing and persuading the things concerning the kingdom of Eluah. Paul. Ephesus. He went into the synagogue, as was his custom, and rendered the word of Yahuwah, right, on the Shabbat, because it was a synagogue. He went in on the Shabbat, right? And for 3 months, he was in this one place, persuading the things of the kingdom of Eluah. Yahuwah has established his kingdom yet to be revealed in the Eretz. But it begins in you. You are kingdom subjects if you've received the Ruach HaQodesh. He now lives, remains, continues, and dwells in you. He abides in you. He tabernacles in you. You are in his kingdom. His kingdom is in you because he is in you. That's what Paul was preaching. The witness. Yahushua Mashiach. Yahushua Mashiach. Listen. In the Ruach HaQodesh. Right? During its completion of the 7th week, the righteous shall be selected from the everlasting plant of righteousness. The righteous will be selected. from the everlasting plant of righteousness. Those who will be established in his kingdom. Those who receive his witness. Ezekiel 36 and 27. I'm going to wear y'all out with these scriptures. I'm going to wear you out. Faith cometh by hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing. I'm going to wear you out with them. Listen. I will put my Ruach Ha'Qodesh within you and cause you to walk in my statutes. You will receive the Ruach Ha'Qodesh because I'm going to give it to you. And because you have the Ruach Ha'Qodesh on the inside of you, it's going to cause you to walk in his statutes. And ye shall keep his judgments and do them. Why? Because he is sanctifying his great name. Yahuwah is sanctifying his great name, right, through his witness in the arets. Through Yahusha Mashiach's blood, baptism, and the Ruach Ha'Qodesh, he is sanctifying his great name. Shaul, by the witness, having given it over to these 12 disciples, right, established 12 men in the kingdom of Yahuwah. Paul produced fruit in the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach. Because, listen, this is what we should be preaching. The witness. The witness of Yahushua HaMashiach. You should be baptizing, right? That's Yahuwah selecting the righteous out of the plant of righteousness. That's receiving the witness, right? That's him sanctifying his great name, right? He says, I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathens, which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that I am Yahuwah, saith Adonai Yahusha. When I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. The witness. Receiving the witness that establishes you, in the kingdom. The witness establishes you in the kingdom of Yahuwah, right? And the Gentiles and the heathens will see. And the heathens are those that profane his name. The heathen are those that profane his name. They're going to see it. They're going to say to themselves when they see him having sanctified his name in us before their eyes, they're going to say, our fathers have told us lies. This Christianity is a lie. They've lied to us about the rapture. They lied to us about this grace. They lied to us about telling us the laws have been done away with. They lied to us telling us that Shabbat, that Sunday, was a day of worship. They lied. And while they're coming to this conclusion, right, he's sanctifying his great name. Then they're going to say to us, listen, can we come and be a part of you? Can we bear your name? We and our kids, we come with our own food. We come with everything we need. We just need to have your name. Why? Because Yahuwah is going to sanctify his great name among the heathen who profaned it. And we profaned it first before them. And they took it, right? Because what we profaned is the Torah. We profaned the Torah. We profaned the Besorah by not keeping it and sinning against it, right? They profaned the Torah. They profaned the Besorah by not keeping it and by lying in reference to it, by serving other elves and putting it in to melting it together with the Besorah and Torah of truth. That's how he's going to sanctify his great name. Acts 19. And so, Paul, he did what he did, right? But when divers were hardened and believed not, but spake evil of the way before the multitude, he departed from them and separated the disciples, disputing daily in the school of one Tyrannus. So he said he left. When they started creating problems, right? Because their hearts got hard, right? Whose hearts got hard? Those who he was persuading in the synagogues, the Jews, right? The Yahudiym, who were oftentimes moved with envy. They got hard at the word, the persuasiveness, how it couldn't be refuted. So the only thing that they could do is respond in hostility. The only thing they could do. Be mad, gnash their teeth, be angry, right? But spake evil of the way, spoke evil of the witness. Man, that Yahusha Mashiach is risen. Paul don't know what he's talking about. Yahusha's not called Gentiles into this. This is not even a Gentile. What is he doing? Spoke evil of the way. Yahusha is the way. The way is obedience to Torah. The way, blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the Torah of Yahuwah. Yahusha is the way. He points to Torah. Right? Yahusha is the way. Right? Torah, the truth. Right? Because Torah is truth. Right? And the life. Right? Life. Ruach. Life. Ruach Ha'Qodesh. Right? Because you were once dead in your sins, but he made you alive. And the Ruach Ha'Qodesh is your life. It's your life. So, let's go on. So he went and found this place, this school of one Tyrannus. Now let's see what he is in the Greek. What that is.
Strong's G 5181. Tyrannos.
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 It means sovereign. An Ephesian in whose school Paul taught the Besorah. Right? He was an Ephesian right? Gentile, and whose school Paul taught the Besorah, because he left those envious, evil-speaking Yahudiym synagogue, and was allowed to teach this Besorah in the school of one Tyrannos, right? And this continued by the space of 2 years. Paul taught the Besorah of truth for 2 years. He taught the witness for 2 years. He preached this Besorah to the Gentiles in Ephesus for 2 years. And you know what he taught. It's recorded in the letter to the church at Ephesus. You know what he taught. It's in Ephesians. Right? You know what he taught. Right? It's in Ephesians. Right? For 2 years, he taught them. 2 years. In one spot on a missionary journey. 2 years. 2 years. And some of us been in the same spot for 2 years. Right? 2 years. And ain't got nothing to show for it but a handful of people. Because all you do is preach where you at. You don't go to nobody. You don't go out to reach the community. Right? You don't. You don't. And this Hebrew awakening, you don't. Because, you just kind of like the church. You get a few people, you sit up and, you kind of wait. Right? You preach and you teach, but you kind of wait. Kind of hang out. Not Paul. Paul preached for 2 years and then was about it. He was doing exactly what Yahuwah called him to do. Right? And you notice the numbers of the people that were in Ephesus grew. Because it's the witness that draws people. And he continued by the space of 2 years, so that all they which dwelt in Asia heard the word of Adonai Yahusha, both Jews and Greeks. Don't tell me Paul wasn't busy. Because it's all of Asia. All of Asia was receiving the witness. Right? Now listen. After Shaul, right? After Shaul, 6 week. It's the 6th week. Right? Of Enoch's prophecy of weeks. Right? After that, in the 6 weeks, all those who are in it shall be darkened, and the hearts of all them shall be forgetful of what Yahusha HaMashiach did, and what the Apostle Paul and the word that was preached and delivered. Right? Because now we're pushing up on 70 A.D. Forget the wisdom. Forget the word. Right? And in it shall a man arise and come forth. Man's going to rise and come forth. Right? And during its completion, he shall burn the house of dominion with fire. Titus Vespasian, the conquering of Jerusalem, the burning of Jerusalem to the ground, the burning of the temple to the ground, right? All that work that Apostle Paul did in preaching this Besorah, right? Titus Vespasian, conquer in the name of the cross. Burn and murder all the people in the name of the cross that were in Jerusalem. And bruise, kill them all. Babies, burn them, kill them all. You got to look at some of these documentaries on how Rome went into Jerusalem and how it ultimately turned into a vengeance bloodbath, and how they just massacred Hebrews from the old to the young, and touted off, took everything, the manuscripts. Yeah, they got that on the anyway. They did it. All the manuscripts, the Torah, and everything. They took it. Right? Burnt it to the ground. Right? And during its completion, he shall burn the house of dominion with fire, and all the race of the elect. All them bruised. Look like this. All the race of the elect. Right? The Shem, Avraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, the 12 tribes, Yehuda, Benjamin, and Levi. The other tribes left during the first exile, and not many of them returned. What was left was Benjamin, Levi, and Yehuda, right? And they were taken captive. Those that were left after the massacre. Right? He says, and the race of the elect shall be scattered, dispersed, scattered. Right? After Paul did this work, this missionary work, this Besorah, right? Preaching this Besorah, right? Right? Because this Besorah must be preached before then shall the end come. Oh, let's do it like this. Let's look at this. Let's look at something. He says in Matthew, right? Let's look at this. In Matthew 24. Right, Matthew 24. Let's look at Matthew 24, starting at verse 3. Where we want to get to is 14, but we're gonna hit it like this. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the signs of the coming of the end of the world?" End of the world, right? And Yahusha answered and said unto him, "Take heed that no man deceive you." Don't let nobody trick you, right? 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 "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many." So you got a bunch of impersonators, right? I am Mashiach, right? Right? The Pope is the vicar. He says that he's the replacement of Christ. So he's Christ's replacement, right? Yeah, but this insanity, right, ain't this. It ain't what we preach. It's not the message of Yahusha. No. He says, "Listen, don't be deceived. Many come saying in my name." He says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." These things have happened and happened and happened and happened and happened. Right? We rumors of wars now. Right? Russia getting ready to cross into the borders, right? Wars and rumors of wars, right? You got struggles on the continent of Africa, right? You got uprisings in different other countries, right? Wars and rumors of wars. "See that ye not be troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." All these things got to happen. Right? For nations to rise against nation, and kingdoms against kingdoms. Right? "There shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places," right? Do we have this now? Right? We have it now, right? Because it's continually a revolving wheel. You don't get caught up in it, right? "All things these are the beginning of sorrows." It's just the beginning, right? He said, "Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake." Right. You'll be hated for all nations for my name's sake. Now listen. You are going to be hated, right? By all nations, right? Let's look at this. He said, "They shall deliver you up to be afflicted," right? Let's see what that is. Let's look at this. Verse 9. Let's look at verse 9 here. Verse 9. Right? "They shall deliver you up to be afflicted." What does afflicted mean in the Greek, right?
Strong's G 2347. Thlipsis.
It means you will be pressed. Pressing together. You will be pressured, right? Oppressed. Affliction, tribulation, distress, right? This is what you will experience, right? He says, verse 9, he says, "They will deliver you up and they will afflict you," right? "And kill you." We know what kill is, right? "And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake." Now listen. It's not just because we Hebrews, right? For his name's sake. It's not because we Hebrews, right? Let's look at that namesake. Let's just look at that namesake. The Greek word is
Strong's G 3686. Anima.
It says proper names. The name is used for everything which the name covers. Everything, the thoughts, feelings of which are aroused in the minds by mentioning, hearing, remembering the name. Right? So all that is attached to the witness, the name. Right? Right? The witness. Right? The name. Right? Brings suffering. Right? So, it's not suffering because you're Hebrew. Right? Because, we've been kind of taught or led to believe at times that we're suffering this now because we Hebrews. That's what Yahusha was saying. But no, Yahusha was talking about the affliction that comes from the witness of the name. The witness that's attached to the name, because it's for his name's sake. Because the nations, the heathens, right, are going to persecute you for the name's sake. Right? Listen. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Many shall be offended. Offense, betrayal, hate. Now this is most Yahudiym. And many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. False prophets arising, right? We've seen them all the time, throughout the ages, right? And deceive many. And because of iniquity, because of sin, shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Because of sin. Because of perversion. Because of perversion. Right? But he that endures unto the end shall receive Yeshua. Endure to the end. Who received the witness of Yahusha Mashiach and takes that witness to the end. And the end is whether it be your life, which you lose, that you may gain life, or whether it is the life that you receive in which you get when you're changed at that moment. Right? Shall be saved. Yeshua. Salvation. Right? Right, he says, and this Basora of the kingdom shall be preached. Right? In all the world for a witness to all the nations, and then shall the end come. Then shall the end come. Listen. This Basora, this witness has to be preached. After the Apostle Paul, they forgot wisdom. They were destroyed. They were scattered. Right? They took their oral traditions and their laws with them. Right? Right? But they still had to be reminded of the witness of Yahusha Mashiach. They received this tentacle Christianity that was profaning his name. They took his name Yahusha and called him Jesus. They created an image of Cesare Borgia or the many other lookalikes that they posted a picture and established this as the Hamashiach. So it's got to be preached. Yahusha is going to establish those in his witness, the righteous that are selected from the righteous branch or plant. he says, the kingdom shall be preached in all the world. You telling me Christianity is the kingdom preached? No. It ain't that. It ain't that. It ain't that. And listen, check this out. Listen to this, right? After in the 7th week perversion, right, shall arise, and its deeds shall be abundant, and all its deeds perverse, right? During the completion, the righteous shall be selected as an everlasting righteousness, right? Right? An everlasting plan of righteousness. And them shall be given the sevenfold doctrine of creation. We are selected seed of righteousness from a plant of righteousness with a sevenfold doctrine of creation, the whole creation, right? And he says after this, in the 8th week of righteousness, to which shall be given a sword to execute judgment and justice upon the oppressor. He's raising up his righteous seed. He's establishing his kingdom in the Eretz. He's raising up those who will witness, right? Because it has to be preached. This witness of Yahusha HaMashiach that has been forgotten has to be preached. It has to have signs following. This is why they're going to hate you. Because you bear the name. And you bear the name with signs following. That's why they're going to hate you. That's why they're going to persecute you. Because of the witness of Yahusha HaMashiach, right? And its witness in demonstration elicits the responses of hatred and envy and violence towards you. Not because you're Hebrew, because you know some customs. Not because you dress up in purple and gold in the numbers and walk in the streets. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Give you the permits to do that. Don't care about that. Care about that? Oh yeah. Oh, we want to have a rally. Yeah. What's the group? ICUC. Oh yeah. Okay. Sure. No problem. Get it. You know what we're gonna do? Yeah, we know. We know everything about you already. You get it. Yep. We ain't worried about you. Ain't worried about you. Right? But listen. Then shall they deliver you up. Now, they did this to the apostles, right? For the witness. They did this for the apostles, for the witness. They're going to do this to you for the witness. You should watch out. Yeah, nobody want to read this. This is the witness of Yahusha HaMashiach. This must be preached, right. It must be preached, right, because they forgotten. Because after that, in the 6th week, all those who are in it shall be darkened, and the hearts of all them shall be forgetful of wisdom. They're gonna forget the witness of Yahusha HaMashiach. 70 AD. Paul preached it. Demonstrated it. Right, but again, you know what? It has to come around again. right? Because Yahusha said, listen, and this Basora of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness. It's a witness. Yahushua Mashiach's witness. By Hebrews. The witness. It's got to be preached. And this Basora of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Right. And then he clarifies it and says, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, right, which has already occurred, right, because he's talking about two different times, right? The abomination of desolation occurred several times. It occurred at 70 AD, right? It actually occurred during the Maccabees. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, whosoever read it, let him understand. Listen. This perilous times was specific, right, to the nation under Titus Vespasian in 70 AD. Right? Matthew 24:15. Right? Man, I tell you. And it's going to come around again. It's come around again. He says, for lo, he says in 24th verse, he says, for lo, there shall rise false Christs, false prophets, and show great signs and wonders, so much that, if it were possible, they shall fool the very elect. Who does that? That's the Christian church. That's the Christian church. That's Benny Hinn. That's Kathleen Kuhlman. That's Kenneth Hagin. Kenneth Copeland. That's them, right? For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Yep. Now you got TV, got radios and walkie-talkies, and sleight of hands. Yeah, they did it. They did it. But they ain't fooled me. I'm the very elect. Oh, yeah. If it were possible, they would have deceived the very elect. Behold, I have told you before, wherefore I shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chamber, believe him not. Right? Right? For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even to the west, so shall also the coming Son of Man be. So listen, you gonna know when I come. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to these people. All right, let's get back to 19. Okay, so now let's go on. And the Lord wrought special miracles at the hands of Paul. What? Because this is what it looks like when you see the Ruach Ha'Qodesh. All right? so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs and aprons, and the diseases departed from them, and the evil ruachs went out of them. That's what this looks like. Now listen, right? Some of y'all remember Rob Parsley, right? Rob Parsley used to cut up pieces of fabric, mail it off to you, right? When you gave him that donation. And he was praying. And that piece of cloth, that was it. Sometimes it was a vial of oil. He sent it off to you. If it was possible, they would fool the very elect. Right? Because they're false Mashiachs. They're not established in the Ruach Ha'Qodesh. There's no way that he's functioning because he's not even honoring the Shabbat. He don't even keep the Torah. He don't keep Yahusha's commandments. So you know Yahusha ain't giving him no power. No Ruach HaQodesh power. Listen. Wrought special miracles by Paul because he had the Ruach HaQodesh. And he was a witness to Yahushua Mashiach. And that his witness was getting so far out all over in Asia, right? Because everybody heard about it, right? People started bringing them stuff. Cloths, aprons, right? And I'm a firm believer of that. I believe it works if you have the Ruach HaQodesh. You ain't got the Ruach HaQodesh. And I believe Yahuwah will deal with you specifically in reference to that. I do. Listen, I do. Right? It says, and so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs and aprons, and the diseases departed from them, the people who had them, and the evil ruachs went out of them, the people that have them, right? Right? And certain of the vagabond Jews. Let's look at this. Vagabonds.
Strong's G 4023. Periejo.
Vagabonds, right? To go about, strollers, wanderers, right? Let's see what the root of this word. Let's see what's etymology of this word. Out about, concerning, accounts, around, near. No, that's not. Beyond the sides. No. So, you have these wandering Jews, right? Wandering Jews, right? Exorcists. These wandering Jews, right? Vagabonds. Exorcist. Let's look at that word.
Strong's G 1845. Exarchistes.
Okay, you got these exorcists, right? He who extracts an oath of one, an exorcist. One who employs a formula or conjuration to expel demons. Oh, man, you got these wandering Jews. thinking they casting out demons, wandering around, looking for demons to cast out. Right? Okay? Right? Then there are certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits, ruachs, and named spirits, had evil spirits, the name of Adonai Yahusha, saying, we adjure you by Yahusha, whom Paul preaches. See, this is what it don't look like. Right? This is what it don't look like. See, if you ain't got the Ruach Ha'Qodesh, you ain't getting no movement on no demons. Listen, if you don't have the Ruach Ha'Qodesh, the witness of Yahusha, Mashiach, demon ain't doing that for you. Ain't doing that. Right? Let's go on. Right. So here you got these exorcists, right? I mean, they say they cast out devils, right? Right? Now, the evil ruachs wasn't really worried about them before, because they was like, they was like, okay, come out, come out. It's like, the exorcist, how the dude had the big cross and put it on her and, yeah, whatever. Satan casts out Satan. Because Satan cast out Satan. He be a house divided. So, they entered, the devils were never worried about him. The devil may have showed a little movement, but they never really came out because he don't listen to them, right? Listen. So certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them that had evil spirits, to call over them which had evil spirits, the name of the Adonai Yahusha, saying, we adjure you by Adonai Yahusha, whom Paul preaches. Right? And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahusha I know, and Shaul I know, but who are you? I recognize the authority that Yahusha had, because while he was yet in the Eretz, he had all power in the Shamayim and the Eretz. Right? I recognize Yahusha, right? And I recognize this Shaul, this Paul, because he's received the witness of Yahusha. And I know Yahuwah and Adonai Yahusha is in him. He has authority. Yeah, I recognize that because I recognize the authority, right? But who are you? You don't have the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach. Who are you? Because this is what it looks like. Right? when you dabble in things that you have no authority to operate in. Right? Because this is real. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's real. Right? So that's what happens. And the man in whom the evil Ruach was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled of that house naked and wounded. See, that's what you get when you deal with stuff that you have no authority or power to operate in. Can't do it. Can't do it. You better not do it. Yeah, you would say you better not do it. See, listen. You have to have the Ruach Ha'Qodesh to receive power. Ruach Ha'Qodesh recognizes the authority of the Ruach Yahusha in you. Yahuwah in you. And it's more because of the authority that you have, having received his seed. The power that comes, the authority that comes from being of the righteous plant, whom he has chosen. Paul's chose. So he beat them up, stripped them butt naked, and they was wounded. Had speed knots. Black eyes. Fat lips. Listen. You can't mess with devils without authority. Right? And this was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling in Ephesus. Man, did you hear what that man did? Them sons of Sceva did? You know, chief priest told him, look, called the demon over. Got to talking about how they're going to cast him out in the name of Paul. The El who Paul served, Yahusha. Did you hear that? Nah, man, I hear it. What happened? Man, look, that devil jumped. That devil jumped on them sons of Sceva, man. Yeah, it was broadcasted. You better know what you have. And you better not do anything that you ain't got no business doing. Right? And this was known in all the Jews, to all the Jews and the Greeks also dwelling in Ephesus. And fear fell on them all. And the name of Adonai Yahusha was magnified. Oh, this ain't nothing to play with. This ain't nothing to play with. And we better watch what we do. We better reverence Yahushua Mashiach. We can't play with this. See, because this is what it looks like. Listen, you ain't seen this. You ain't seen this. Look, you ain't seen this. We ain't seen this. This witness, we haven't, only time we've ever seen this is in this. I mean, some assemblies, that they cast out Ruachs, right? Right. I have a problem with you casting out the Ruach out of the same person. I mean, that's a waste of time until they've received the witness of Yahushua Mashiach and be baptized and receive the Ruach Ha'Qodesh. You gonna just keep fighting with stronger devils. Each time it's gonna be more, they gotta come out. But listen, you gotta receive the Ruach Ha'Qodesh. Can't be no demons coming in you and out of you and in and out of you like a revolving door. Okay, so. And this was known to all the Jews and the Greeks also dwelling in Ephesus, and fear fell on reverence. And all them that named the name of Adonai Yahusha was magnified, right? Magnified. And many that believed came and confessed and shewed their deeds. Many came and repented. Listen, they repented because they got caught up in witchcraft, divination, Ouija boards, astrological signs. Many that believe came and confessed. Listen, I believe in Yahusha Mashiach, and I've been reading palms and I've been dealing with the sorcery, and I've been listen, I'm confessing that now, right? Shew their deeds, right? And many of them also which use curious arts brought their books there and burned them before all men. Right? And they counted the pieces of them and found 40 and 50,000 pieces of silver. That's how much they had in these books. The investment. That's what happens when you are repentant, right? You don't want nothing to do with it. Take it, burn it, get rid of it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Get rid of it. Burn it. Burn it. Let it go. Get rid of it. Because this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Right? This is the witness of Yahusha. These are the signs that follow. The witness should bring a man or a woman to this. Right? The demonstration of the power should cause men and women to fear Yahuwah. Fear Yahuwah. Reverence. Yeah. So mighty grew the word of Elohiym and prevailed. Right? So the word of Elohiym prevailed. Mighty. People was receiving it and running on it. But listen, not too long after 70 A.D., all those who are in it shall be darkened, and the hearts of them shall be forgetful of wisdom. And then it shall a man rise and come forth, and during his completion he shall burn the house of the dominion with fire, and all the race of the elect root. The elect root. Shall be dispersed. The elect root shall be dispersed. The witness of Yahusha, of Mashiach. Again. And this Basora of the kingdom, Matthew 24 and 14, shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Ezekiel 36 and 6. right? No. Ezekiel 36 and 23. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned amongst the heathens, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahuwah and the Adonai Yahusha, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. And this Basora of the kingdom of Yahuwah shall be preached. Right? The witness. Not just knowing you Hebrew, but receiving the witness. Right? In the world, the witness unto all the nations. And then shall the end come. Then I'm going to sanctify my name. But you got to get the witness out. Because it ain't Christianity. It ain't the man that burnt down Jerusalem, burnt down the temple, that massacred the people. It ain't that. It's not 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 that. You know, man of Yah, woman of Yah, we're going to stop there. We're going to pick up at the 19th, at the 21st verse. In the 20th verse, he says, and so mightily grew the word of Elohiym and prevailed. Where it grew. Hallelujah. Yahuwah, I pray right now in the name of Yahusha Mashiach that the revelation of your word would reach the hearts of those that you have chosen, that they would receive it with gladness, and that they would rejoice in their ruach at this Basora of truth. Yahusha said that this Basora must be preached to all the world before the end comes. You said that you had to sanctify your great name in your people, right, when the end comes. You said that from this 7th week, the end of the 7th week, you would select a righteous seed from a righteous plant. You said it, you. In the name of Yahusha Mashiach. I believe your witness. I believe that I am that righteous individual that you have chosen from this righteous plant. I believe the witness of Yahusha Mashiach. I believe the witness of Yahusha Mashiach. I received your Ruach Ha'Qodesh. Yahuwah, I pray for those who hear me. I pray, Yahuwah, that you would quicken them, make them alive in your Ruach Ha'Qodesh. I thank you. Yahuwah, let the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. For Yahuwah, you are my strength and my redeemer, and I give you praise. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, called to greatness. That's all I got for today. Say something tomorrow. Because this witness got to be preached, and I'm going to preach it. Hallelujah. So to that I say, listen, man of Yah, woman of Yah, shalom, shalom, and shalom.
Torah Garden, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.